Welcome to Stellar Eureka, where we explore nature's most extraordinary wonders. What if plants could eat animals, or disguise themselves as rocks, or even dance to music? The plant kingdom hides secrets far stranger than science fiction. From flowers that smell like rotting corpses, to cacti that can drink a bathtub of water in a single storm. Today, we're venturing into the botanical world's bizarre side, where plants have developed strategies so unusual they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about the green life around us. These are the 15 weirdest plants on Earth. In the tropical forest of Asia grows a plant that seems to have a life of its own. The dancing plant performs a continuous, rhythmic movement that has fascinated scientists for centuries. Its leaves are divided into 3 leaflets, one large and 2 small. While the main leaflet remains relatively still, the 2 smaller ones rotate and jerk in response to light, temperature, touch, and even sound. These movements aren't slow and imperceptible like most plant movements. They're quick enough to be seen with the naked eye, resembling a bizarre dance. The mechanism behind these movements lies in specialized motor cells at the base of each leaflet. When stimulated, these cells rapidly change water pressure, causing the leaflets to move up, down, or rotate. Even more surprising, the dancing plant responds to music, with studies showing it moves more vigorously when exposed to certain frequencies. While scientists debate the evolutionary advantage of this behavior, some theories suggest it may deter herbivores by mimicking insect movement or optimize light exposure as the sun moves across the sky. Charles Darwin himself was fascinated by this plant, describing its movements in detail in his book, The Power of Movement in Plants. In a kingdom where most species stand still, the dancing plant reminds us that the line between plants and animals isn't always as clear as we might think. From dancing plants to masters of disguise, nature's creativity knows no bounds. In the sun-baked deserts of southern Africa, evolution has crafted one of its most convincing camouflages. Lithops, commonly called living stones, are succulent plants so perfectly disguised that you could walk right over them without noticing they're alive at all. Each plant consists of just 2 fused succulent leaves with a split between them, resembling a small stone or pebble. Their tops are flat and slightly translucent, allowing sunlight to reach photosynthetic tissues below the surface, while the majority of the plant remains safely underground. The coloration and patterning of these leaf tops precisely match the surrounding rocks and soil. Some appeared speckled, others striped or mottled in grays, browns, rusts, and greens. This remarkable mimicry protects them from herbivores and reduces water loss by minimizing the exposed surface area. Lithops have a unique growth cycle, perfectly adapted to desert life. New leaves grow from the center of the split, absorbing moisture and nutrients from the old leaves, which wither away, a perfect recycling system in an environment where resources are scarce. Once a year, usually in autumn, a daisy-like flower emerges from the fissure between the leaves, a surprisingly large and showy bloom for such an otherwise inconspicuous plant. The flowers open in late afternoon and close at night, repeating this cycle until pollination occurs. While living stones have mastered disguise, our next plant has perfected the art of endurance. In the moonscape of Namibia's Namib Desert lies a plant so ancient and bizarre that early botanists struggled to classify it. Welwitschia mirabilis consists of just 2 leaves, a stem base, and roots, yet it can live for over 1,000 years, with some specimens estimated to be 2,000 years old. These 2 leaves are the only ones the plant will ever produce. They grow continuously from their base, splitting and fraying in the harsh desert winds until they resemble a tangled mass of twisted ribbons sprawled across the ground. Some ancient specimens have leaves extending up to 20 feet in length. The plant's survival in one of Earth's driest environments, where rainfall may be less than 2 inches annually, is nothing short of miraculous. Its secret lies partly in its deep taproot and ability to absorb moisture from occasional fog that rolls in from the Atlantic Ocean. Additionally, its leaves have specialized cells that can harvest humidity from the air. Male and female plants produce cone-like reproductive structures more similar to pine cones than flowers, reflecting Welwitschia's ancient lineage. It's neither a flowering plant nor a conifer, but something in between, a living fossil that has remained virtually unchanged for millions of years. From ancient desert survivors to tropical monsters, our journey now takes us to the steamy rainforest of Sumatra. Here lurks a botanical behemoth so strange it seems almost mythical. The corpse flower holds the record for the world's largest unbranched inflorescence, growing up to 10 feet tall and 4 feet wide when in bloom. Its name comes from the overwhelming stench it produces, a putrid mixture of compounds that precisely mimics the smell of rotting flesh. This olfactory assault can be detected up to half a mile away and serves a vital purpose, attracting carrion beetles and flies that pollinate the tiny flowers hidden within its base. What appears to be a single massive flower is actually thousands of small flowers clustered around a central spike called a spadix, which is enclosed in a petal-like spathe. The deep burgundy color and textured surface of this spathe further enhance the illusion of decomposing meat. Perhaps the most remarkable is the flower's rarity and brief appearance. A corpse flower may take 7 to 10 years to gather enough energy to bloom, and when it finally does, the flower lasts for just 24 to 48 hours before collapsing. During this brief window, it heats up to nearly human body temperature, which helps volatilize its scent compounds. Between blooms, the plant produces a single massive leaf that can reach 20 feet tall and resembles a small tree, gathering energy for years until the next fleeting, fetid bloom. From the overwhelming presence of the corpse flower, we shift to something more subtly disturbing. In the dappled light of North American forest, a plant waits with unblinking eyes. Doll's eyes, also known as white baneberry, produces clusters of white berries, each marked with a deep black spot resembling the fixed stare of antique porcelain dolls. These eerie berries grow on bright red stems, creating a stark contrast that stands out against the forest floor. While visually striking, this plant's beauty comes with a warning. Every part of it, berries, leaves, stems, and roots, contains cardiogenic toxins that can cause severe cardiac arrest and death if ingested. The plant's strategy is clever. The eye-like berries attract birds who can safely eat them and spread the seeds, while the toxicity deters mammals who might otherwise consume and destroy the seeds. The bright colors serve as both attraction and warning, depending on who's looking. Found throughout eastern North America, this perennial thrives in the rich, moist soils of deciduous woods, growing up to 2 feet tall with elegant, compound leaves. In spring, it produces clusters of small white flowers before developing its signature eyes by late summer. Ghostly eyes in the forest are unsettling, but wait until you meet a flower that looks like it flew straight out of a Gothic fairy tale. From the shadowy understories of Southeast Asian rainforest comes a flower so dramatic it could be wearing its own costume. The black bat flower doesn't just look unusual, it looks almost otherworldly with its bat-shaped blooms and long whisker-like filaments that can grow nearly 28 inches long. Its deep purple to black flowers aren't actually petals, but bracts, modified leaves that protect the true flowers hidden within. The dark color isn't just for show, it's a strategic adaptation. While most flowers use bright colors to attract pollinators in sunlit meadows, the black bat flower has evolved to catch the attention of special pollinators that prefer the dimly lit forest floor. In the dappled light of tropical forests, where plants compete fiercely for every ray of sunlight, this unusual species has carved out a niche by embracing the darkness. Its large, broad leaves capture what little light filters through, while its dramatic flowers ensure reproduction continues in the shadows. Growing up to 3 feet tall, this perennial makes an unmistakable statement. Nature's reminder that beauty doesn't always need bright colors to be breathtaking. From Gothic beauty to explosive reproduction, the plant kingdom's oddities just keep coming. Along the dusty roadsides of the Mediterranean grows a plant with an explosive secret. The squirting cucumber looks innocent enough, a sprawling herb with hairy leaves and small yellow flowers. The fruit detaches from its stem and forcefully ejects seeds and a sticky liquid up to 20 feet away in a pressurized stream. This bizarre adaptation ensures that the seeds land far from the parent plant, reducing competition for resources and increasing the species' chance of survival. The ejection happens in just a fraction of a second, making it one of the fastest movements in the plant kingdom. The plant contains compounds called cucurbitacins, which are intensely bitter and toxic. These chemicals serve as a defense mechanism against herbivores, ensuring that animals learn quickly not to eat these explosive fruits. Ironically, these same compounds have been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years to treat everything from sinusitis to jaundice. In a world where most plants rely on animals or wind to disperse their seeds, the squirting cucumber takes matters into its own hands, quite literally shooting its offspring into the future. The squirting cucumber may have an explosive personality, but our next plant has developed what might be the most stomach-turning adaptation in the botanical world. In the sun-baked landscapes of South Africa, an unusual star-shaped flower blooms, one you might appreciate with your eyes, but certainly not with your nose. The carrion flower, or African starfish flower, has evolved to smell like rotting meat. Its five-pointed leathery petals aren't just star-shaped. They're covered in fine hairs and colored in mottled patterns of purplish-brown that mimic decaying flesh. The flower even warms itself to enhance the release of its putrid scent, creating a multi-sensory illusion of a freshly dead animal. This elaborate charade serves one purpose: to attract flies. While most flowers court butterflies and bees with sweet nectar, the carrion flower targets flies and beetles that normally lay eggs on carcasses. Deceived by the convincing display, flies land on the flower, become dusted with pollen before carrying it to the next bloom. The deception is complete when female flies, tricked into thinking they found the perfect nursery for their offspring, lay eggs on the flower. These eggs will never develop, a harsh reality of this plant's survival strategy where some must lose for others to win. From a flower that smells of death to a tree that defies all expectations of what a tree should look like. Along the western coast of Madagascar stands a tree so unusual it looks as if it's been planted upside down with roots reaching for the sky. Grandidier's Baobab is not just strange in appearance, it's a master of survival in one of the world's harshest environments. These botanical giants can reach heights of 98 feet with massive cylindrical trunks up to 36 feet in diameter. Their smooth reddish-gray bark houses a spongy wood saturated with water, a living reservoir that allows them to endure Madagascar's long dry seasons where rain may not fall for 9 months. What makes these baobabs truly bizarre is their brief and spectacular flowering period. For just 24 hours each year, the trees produce large white blooms that open at sunset and wither by the following dawn. During this fleeting window, nocturnal lemurs and insects race to pollinate them before the opportunity vanishes. The fruits, known as monkey bread, contain seeds embedded in a powdery pulp that's extraordinarily rich in vitamin C, 6 times more concentrated than oranges. For centuries, these trees have been central to Malagasy culture, providing food, water, shelter, and medicine. Sadly, these living legends are threatened, with 90% of their original forest habitat lost to agriculture. Grandidier's baobabs often stand isolated in fields of crops, ancient survivors witnessing the transformation of their world. While baobabs impress with their massive size, our next plant uses subtlety and deception to achieve its goals. In the subtropical regions of South Africa grows a plant that's mastered the art of deception. The parachute flower doesn't just look unusual, it's a botanical prison with an ingenious escape plan. Its blooms resemble tiny parachutes or intricate cages, formed by 5 petals fused at the tips. These delicate greenish-white flowers aren't just visually striking, they're sophisticated traps. The plant releases a scent that mimics the pheromones of honeybees in distress, attracting flies that feed on substances produced by bees. When a fly investigates this falsely advertised meal, it slips on the flower's smooth surface and falls into the tube below. There, downward-pointing hairs prevent escape, but only temporarily. Unlike carnivorous plants, the parachute flower doesn't want to digest its visitors, it wants to use them. As the captured fly struggles to escape, it becomes dusted with pollen. After about 24 hours, the hairs wither, allowing the fly to escape, carrying precious pollen to the next flower, an unwitting courier in the plant's reproductive strategy. This elaborate system of temporary imprisonment ensures cross-pollination without offering any reward to the pollinator, a one-sided relationship where the plant has evolved to exploit the behavior of unsuspecting insects. From delicate deception to desert giants, our botanical journey takes us to the iconic symbols of the American Southwest. Rising like sentinels from the Sonoran Desert floor, saguaro cacti stand as living monuments to survival. These giants can reach heights over 40 feet and live for 150 to 200 years, silently watching the desert landscape transform around them. What makes these saguaro truly remarkable isn't just its size, but its incredible adaptability. Its pleated trunk allows it to expand like an accordion after rainstorms, swelling to store up to 200 gallons of water, enough to sustain it through months of drought. During these cycles of expansion and contraction, the cactus literally changes shape before returning to its more slender form as water is gradually used. The iconic arms, which have become symbols of the American Southwest, don't appear until the cactus is about 50 to 75 years old. Each saguaro develops a unique silhouette as these arms grow in distinctive patterns, creating a landscape of botanical individuality across the desert. These cacti aren't just plants, they're ecosystems. Birds carve nesting cavities into their flesh, creating homes that are later used by owls, hawks, and other desert creatures. When a saguaro finally dies after centuries of life, even its woody skeleton serves as a vital habitat for desert creatures. The desert has its giants, but the bogs of the Pacific Northwest harbor predators of their own. In the cold, acidic bogs of Northern California and Oregon, a predator stands waiting. With its hood raised and forked tongue extended, the cobra lily mimics its serpentine namesake, not to scare away threats, but to lure them closer. This carnivorous plant has mastered the art of deception. Its hollow tube-like leaves form a hood that resembles a cobra's head, complete with a forked appendage that dangles below, appearing to insects as an escape route. Inside the hood, transparent patches create false exits, disorienting prey that have wandered in, following the sweet nectar trail. Once inside, downward-pointing hairs prevent escape, forcing insects deeper into the trap until they fall into the digestive pool at the bottom. Unlike other pitcher plants, the cobra lily doesn't produce its own digestive enzymes. Instead, it hosts a community of bacteria and microorganisms that break down prey, a kind of outsourced digestion system. Perhaps most remarkable is how it survives in environments too harsh for most plants. It thrives in soils so poor in nutrients that other species simply can't compete, its carnivorous lifestyle giving it the ultimate competitive edge in a harsh world. While the cobra lily creates elaborate traps, our next carnivorous plant takes a simpler but equally effective approach. In the nutrient-poor soils of South Africa, an ingenious predator waits for its prey. The Cape sundew looks innocent enough, slender leaves glistening with what appears to be morning dew, but these droplets are a deadly trap. Each glistening bead is actually a sticky substance secreted from thousands of tiny hairs. When an insect lands to investigate, it becomes hopelessly stuck. Sensing its prey, the leaf slowly curls around the insect, coating it with digestive enzymes that dissolve it from the outside in. What makes the Cape sundew particularly cunning is its dual nature. While its leaves are death traps, it produces delicate pink flowers on tall stalks, safely elevated above the killing floor. This ensures that potential pollinators aren't accidentally caught in its deadly embrace. The plant needs insects both as food and as reproductive partners. In a world where plants are typically prey, the Cape sundew has flipped the script, becoming the hunter in a harsh environment where protein is scarce but sunshine is abundant. From deadly hunters to dazzling beauties, the plant world is full of extremes. Hanging like ornate jewelry from the understory of tropical American rainforest, the lobster claw stands as one of nature's most flamboyant masterpieces. Its vibrant, waxy red bracts overlap like the segments of a lobster's tail, creating a pendant that can grow up to 3 feet long. These aren't actually flowers, but modified leaves that protect the true flowers hidden within. The plant's real genius lies in its co-evolution with hummingbirds. Each bract holds a small pool of nectar, positioned perfectly for the long bill of a hovering hummingbird. As the bird feeds, its head brushes against pollen, which it then carries to other plants. This specialized relationship is so precise that different Heliconia species have evolved to match the bill length and feeding behavior of specific hummingbird species. The vibrant colors, which can range from fiery reds to golden yellows, are optimized for the visual spectrum of birds rather than insects or humans. Growing up to 15 feet tall, these perennial herbs form dense clusters in the dappled light of rainforest clearings. Their large, paddle-shaped leaves, arranged in a fan formation, channel rainwater down to the roots, helping the plant survive seasonal dry periods. In a world of botanical wonders, the lobster claw stands out not just for its beauty, but for the elegant precision of its evolutionary partnerships. Our journey ends with one of Earth's oldest living organisms, a plant that looks ordinary but holds extraordinary secrets of longevity. In the sun-scorched deserts of the American Southwest stands the creosote bush. This unassuming shrub with small yellow flowers and tiny resinous leaves harbors a remarkable ability to outlive almost everything else on the planet. This unassuming plant creates clonal rings that can live for thousands of years. As the center dies out, new segments grow around the periphery, creating a slowly expanding circle. The king clone in California's Mojave Desert has been dated to nearly 11,700 years old, having sprouted around the end of the last ice age. The creosote bush's survival strategy is ruthlessly effective. It secretes toxins from its roots that inhibit the growth of other plants, creating bare zones around itself where competitors can't establish. Its resinous leaves are covered in a waxy coating that minimizes water loss and reflects excess heat, allowing it to thrive in temperatures that would kill most plants. Perhaps most remarkably, it can survive without rainfall for up to 2 years by shutting down photosynthesis and shedding some of its leaves, entering a state of suspended animation until water returns. When it finally rains, the bush can rehydrate and resume growth within 24 hours. The plant's distinctive smell, which many associate with rain in the desert, comes from volatile oils released when moisture hits its resin-coated leaves, creating the iconic smell of the desert after a storm. From flowers that reek of death to plants that dance to music, from living stones to thousand-year-old survivors, the botanical world hides wonders that defy imagination. These strange adaptations aren't just botanical curiosities, they're masterclasses in survival, showing us that life finds a way, no matter how hostile the environment. Which of these weird wonders surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through nature's strangest greenery, hit like and subscribe for more of Earth's most fascinating secrets. This is Stellar Eureka, signing off.